Hi, it's Hillary. Welcome to my channel where I discuss books, games, and lifestyle. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more of my shenanigans. It's time for another episode of Books and Builds, where I discuss a book I've read recently and build or renovate something in The Sims 4. Today, I'm talking about This Is Not a Personal Statement by Tracy Badua, and I'm refreshing the breitchester dorms from the Discover University expansion pack. Before we get too far into the video, I'd like to thank Libro FM for providing the ALC copy I listened to. As a librarian, their ALC program allows me to access a variety of audiobooks every month at no cost to me. This Is Not a Personal Statement follows Perla Perez, a 16-year-old with a solid plan for her future. Well, it's not really a plan that she made for herself, it's one that her parents planned for her. And all that's next is an acceptance into her dream school, Belmont University. When she receives a rejection letter, she panics and forges an acceptance letter to keep her parents happy. She continues the lie, going so far that she moves onto campus and tries to figure out why Belmont rejected her. And Perla is so sure that all of her intel will grant her admission in the spring. So, do we think she's right? As the semester progresses and her lies pile up, Perla questions the future that she planned with her parents. Is Belmont her dream or theirs? And will a career in medicine be enough when her interests lie elsewhere? I'd like to talk about the build now. I'm not sure the original layout of the dorms makes sense, and the rooms are oversized and empty in typical EA fashion. We all know. I haven't played in the Discover University dorm, so I wasn't comfortable demolishing the whole thing and restarting fresh. But the next time I renovate this dorm, I would really like to do more to the shell. As I worked on the refresh, I thought about how higher ed institutions really like to show off the best they can when prospective students and their parents visit. So I focused more on public areas and the bathrooms than the actual bedrooms, and that's why I refreshed the wallpaper in the bathrooms, study areas, the kitchenette, instead of also in the bedrooms. I felt so much anxiety for Perla throughout the book, but maybe that's the point. If she could have been honest with her parents, applied to a safe school, and figured her life out, we would have a much less exciting story. And I don't dislike Perla, but you can tell she's 16. And I don't mean that as an attack on her or the book. She just doesn't make the best decisions, which applies to so many 16-year-olds, especially in YA fiction. I know there are 16-year-olds who make really good choices, so again, this is not an attack on 16-year-olds. One of the strengths of this book is that it dives into the struggle between what a child wants with their life and the expectations that are set by parents and guardians. And if you throw in the competitive nature of modern academia, you have a recipe for disaster. The side characters also felt slightly underdeveloped, but that could have been intentional because Perla was so stuck in her head. All of her energy goes into staying a step ahead of her lies, and it's really hard to form a genuine connection with people when the relationship begins with a lie. So, again, I think that might have been intentional. When I read this book, I couldn't stop thinking about Begin Again by Emma Lord, which I read earlier this year. It follows a character who transfers into her dream school during the spring semester. I enjoyed both books, and they really don't compare to each other, but that's just my brain kept comparing the two because they're YA books set in college. It is interesting to see how Pearlie's spring semester could have gone if she had made better choices. But again, she's a child. Children don't have life experience. I just want to quickly add that I didn't realize you can't have an oven or stove in the dorms, which is totally ridiculous because every dorm I lived in had an oven in a shared, communal area. It's just, that makes no sense. to talk about the individual dorm rooms that I redecorated. I decided to make the first dorm room one for the child of one of the school's biggest donors. Imagine a student who pretends that they want the authentic university experience without a speck of authenticity. They kicked their roommate out and brought in a double bed of their own, and they kept some of the school-issued furniture, but they wanted to ensure visitors knew that the room was theirs and theirs alone. The next room is a triple because the roommate from the first room did not have a room of their own, and this is the other large dorm room. I actually lived in a triple in my senior year of college, and I enjoyed it because we squished the beds to one side and used the rest as a living and study space, and we even had an ensuite bathroom, which this room does not have, but it's The Sims. They're fine. I did not do much to the third room, but I liked the idea of the roommates being close friends and having table tennis tournaments in their room, so of course they had to prioritize space for that. My inspiration for the fourth room comes from my sophomore year of college. My roommate and I had a class together, and we wanted to rearrange our room, so we were working on sketches during class, and her idea involved pushing our beds together. So she illustrated a stick figure and had it kicking me, and then she leaned in and whispered, "I kick." So we kind of lost it during class, and our professor definitely thought we were up to something, which we were. And then I added a futon and a TV since my roommate had a futon and watched TLC constantly. We also used to take dinner to our room so we could play The Sims 3 on our laptops together. So yeah, this one's for you, Megan. In the final room, the Sims team did all the work for me. It told the story of two roommates who don't get along, so I added to it. The person by the door is messy, and then the person on the far side of the room is tidy, and they really appreciate their privacy. So I placed extra dividers, deleted some furniture, and then ultimately replaced the same things because they worked for the room. And I think the cracks and wall stains that I add later really add a nice touch. course, I had to add space for Perla. I didn't have any packs with sleeping bags, so I'm pretending that she brought the foldable chair and just sleeps on that. If I could redo this build, I would add a storage room and then create a space for her, but this is what we're working with. Yeah, it's the best I could do, and it ties the build into the book really well. Here is a chaotic overview of what I did. Don't worry, I will add better screenshots at the end of this. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're into that sort of thing. I'll see you next week.